What's up, guys? Today I'm playing at Siege. It's an indoor field, local indoor field. It's just a big warehouse. It's actually one of the biggest indoor fields in Canada. The first game we are playing here is a capture the flag. It was a quick warm-up. We had booked the day for a private event here, and we had a lot of fun. It was a good day. So I get taken out right off the gate, trying to run up and capture the flag, trying to make this a quick game. And by the time I get back to my respawn, one of my teammates has already secured the flag and gets back there at the same time as me. So that was a quick game.
Ceasefire!
On to this next game. I'm not even sure what the game mode was. I can't remember.
Moving up the right.
That's a tango down right there. This one, game mode, is the one where I got the most kills. In the whole day, I think. I got quite a few.
What? Okay.
Typically at this field, I normally just run pistols only. But today I decided to mix it up with my assault rifle. This is actually my outdoor gun, but my indoor gun wasn't working too well. There's Moose. He took control of the center field. I believe this was the game mode where we were trying to secure the midpoint of the field. I think it was like a King of the Hill or Hard Point or something like that. This part is kind of funny. I actually slipped. I went for a slide and kind of bailed halfway through it because I saw another enemy was going for the same piece of cover at the same time. So you can see here in slow motion, we actually were going almost for the same spot. I don't think I actually got hit, but I didn't feel like trying to scramble and go for an engagement at that range and everything, so I kind of just took it as a fall.
I'm pinned down on the right.
Here I'm getting pinned down in this corner, so I'm staying behind this cover.
Behind the red bunker.
I see the guy behind the red wall there, and I call him out. And that guy was holding down quite a bit of the field there, so I knew I wanted to take him out. I actually got hit with a ricochet here, but I called it before I even thought about it. So I just continued with the call that I was hit, because once I call dead, I stay dead. But that was completely a ricochet. I mean, I was behind complete cover, but one bounced off and hit me real hard in the neck, so you know, I instinctively just called hit, and I'm pretty sure that was a ricochet. But so here we are again. I'm up by the car here. This was a favorite piece of cover of mine on this side of the field. I had a lot of engagements here. Took out a few guys that were trying to move up. There's one of them. Took him out. But I know there's still that guy behind the red wall there.
Right side.
Oh, sorry. Maybe I take him out as he's moving to the blue barrels. I know I hit him at one point, but I took him out. But there's still that guy behind that red wall, and I really want to get rid of that guy. So I kind of check around. I see the coast is pretty well clear, and I decide to make a move.
Red wall. Red wall.
Kind of like a yippee-ki-yay, I just slide in there.
We'll trade it.
I call it a trade, but I was pretty sure I didn't feel I got hit. I didn't feel anything, but at that, like with a move like that, I kind of just go in there as a suicide, and if he didn't hit me, you know, a few seconds later somebody else would have hit me, so I just said we call it as a trade and took each other out.
Oh, hit. Good shot. Ow.
And this is what happens when you get tired. You know, that's our respawn point right at that doorway there where it says I will find you. And I casually walked out of the respawn point and someone got a really nice long range shot. Hit me right in the stomach. And it stung. That's why, you know, you've always got to be on your guard no matter what. Here we are again. I'm pushing the right side of the field, moving up. Getting an engagement right here. I took him out and he signaled to me that he was hit, so I waved back. That wasn't me signaling that I was hit. I was just confirming that I knew he was dead. I tried to move up, but there was too much resistance and too much incoming fire, so I had to take cover behind my favorite little cop car here again. Took out a few more guys. Secured a couple kills. Decided this would be a good place to hold up because I have a lot of good angles on enemy cover, and if they try to move up the right side of the field, I have it fairly well covered at the center of the field. The ref tower is right beside me, which is the middle of the field, so I have the field fairly well locked down right now. Out of ammo, going for a quick change here. Not a very tactical reload. I was using my pistol kit, so I didn't even have M4 pouches, so I was carrying M4 mags in my pockets. My position was fairly well known at that point, so I tried to take a new vantage point down low. You can see I have a good line of sight through the cover right here, and I'm not very exposed, so this was a good position to hold. So that's what I did. I held it, I got comfortable, and I didn't see very much action. Until out of nowhere, you know, there's the grenade. And it's funny because it bounced and then went off. And I mean, that was such a good throw, I had to call it. I'm pretty sure BBs hit me at that point too. I can't remember, but I am pretty sure I got hit by quite a few BBs. Grenades were a big thing at this field. I got taken out by a few different grenade devices.
On the right, far right.
This was my final life of the game mode that we were playing, and I took up the middle of the field while we were running out of time. I was just trying to hold some angles. I had gotten a few kills, and my objective was just to hold the center point of the field for as long as I could and make sure nobody was coming up either side of the field. I had a better vantage point on the right side. This guy makes a good push and takes me out, and that was it for me. This guy down here, that's my buddy Dan D. He took that spot in so many different games, and it was just a wicked vantage point. At one point, he and I crawled up from that exact spot and moved up over half the field. But unfortunately, I didn't have my camera rolling for that, and so I didn't capture that on video. But he was holding down a good angle right there and covering most of the right side of the field. Back to my favorite little cop car.
Which building?
You never really understand the value of grenades until you play at an indoor field like this. I mean, outdoor is one thing, it's nice, but indoor is a whole new thing because you find your grenades and they go off and the BBs actually travel. So, and they're really good for getting people out of cover when they're in fixed cover. So I'm not very, I guess, accustomed to using grenades. I have quite a few of them. I have like a tornado and a cyclone, thunderbeat grenades, the sound grenades. But I don't use them too often, so I'm not too familiar with them. And playing here, I learned something really valuable about the cyclone grenades. You have to tie the spoon to the grenade. Otherwise, this will happen. It goes off in your hand. Because there's nothing to hold the brass pin back. So this wasn't the first time I've had one of those grenades go off in my hand, and then I started noticing people were actually tying the spoon to the grenade to prevent that, and you throw it with the spoon on. I had no idea. I was used to the tornado grenade, the one that you just throw and it goes off, and that's why I like that one, even though it's kind of a pain to rearm. The final game we played at our private event here was a full out darkness game. So we played with no lights on, and there was people here with nods, which is night vision optics. This guy was using his right there next to me. And about pretty much what you can see through this camera is what you could see in real life. It was really dark. I was trying to get my tracer unit to work, and it was not working. The batteries were not working on it. I was getting really frustrated. I spent about 10 minutes of the game trying to get it to work so that I could shoot glow-in-the-dark BBs, and it would be really cool video effect, but I was unable to get it to work. So I'm just left with a flashlight. I am using glow-in-the-dark BBs, but without the light to light them up, you can't really see. So as you can tell, you're looking at complete darkness here. So I didn't include too much of the night video, or I keep saying the night video, the full out darkness video, because you can't really tell what's happening. It's not very interesting to watch. But there is some cool clips where you can see glow in the dark BBs flying back and forth, and you can see people with their night vision optics, and it's really interesting. It's an interesting dynamic to play in darkness, because if it's a level playing field where no one has night optics, you can literally walk up behind somebody and they won't know you from friend or foe, which is an interesting concept for sure. So as you can tell, it's really dark. You can't see anything except where my light shines. It's kind of like a horror game, or like a horror film. There's a little bit of ambient light that the camera doesn't quite pick up, so you can see where you're going for the most part, but you have to be careful, because there is tripping hazards, and you can walk into things, so you definitely have to be careful.
Sorry.
I keep calling it a night game. I don't know why I called it a night game. I guess because I'm used to playing at night outdoors. I'm not much of an indoor player. But this was a fun, different experience, and I think a lot of people enjoyed it. And there's going to be another one to come soon, so I hope you enjoy this video, and stay tuned for the next one.
Under the tower. Under. Hit. Son of a bitch. Hit. That fucking M203.